I'll just start then by thanking you, Ernie, for taking the time to chat with us at the Christian Beat all about your upcoming project.
Thank you for the opportunity, Jesse. And how are you today?
Good, good, good. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, it's busy, which is good because I don't do nothing well.
Uh, for sure, for sure. So do you want to talk a little bit about this project and kind of how this project stands out from all of the other projects that you've released to date?
I think if you would look at, me inside my heart and my mind, and I love all kinds of music. I'm attracted to different styles of music, but truly inside, this project reflects who I am at my core. I just love old-fashioned quartet singing mixed with the old spirituals done in a very entertaining, high energy, joyful manner. And so I've always wanted to do a project like this, never had the chance to. But on that special night in Memphis, Tennessee, with the history of Memphis and our genre of music, it just all came together in a magical way.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think that when you talk about live recordings, I feel like they always have a special feel because you can only plan so much, I guess, going into it. So, were there any moments that night that became unscripted or kind of stood out for you that you weren't anticipating to feel?
Yeah, but nobody knows this, but that night I was very, very ill. I was sick the whole week. I lost my voice before, like 3 or 4 days before. So I was just on fumes. And but God gave me grace that night. A lot of people were praying, and I went out on stage and I said, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. I'm trusting the Lord with this. That's easy to say. It's very easy to say, and I think this is the first time that I have admitted publicly, that I was ill. But in our weakness, His strength is made perfect. I didn't cut anything out, and there were a lot of surprises, just in the fact that I didn't have time to rehearse with everybody prior to the recording. I just said, "Hey, we're all professionals. We've been doing this for a lifetime. We know these songs. We're ready for this moment. Let's just let the Spirit lead." And we just prayed for energy. We prayed for joy, because that's one thing in a live recording that's hard to translate into a recording, the spontaneous joy that's in the room. But it happened that night there in Memphis.
Oh, for sure. And I'm curious a little bit if the location, so Memphis, and all of the different sounds and styles of music that are incorporated into the project, what kind of tie that holds for you as well?
The people will hear me, the first thing out of my mouth, I say, we are returning to the site where it kind of all started, our genre of music. In the late 50s, Bill Street rhythm and blues collided with deep Southern spirituals and hymns, and it created and brought to the mainstream an art form of music that we love, and it's called Southern Gospel Quartet singing.
Mhm.
And so that's true. Memphis, Tennessee is where the first original quartet convention was held, Ellis Auditorium. That building is no longer there, but the place where we recorded that video, the new Performing Arts Center, is on the grounds of Ellis Auditorium. And so we had special guests like the Blackwood Brothers, who were the original uh, people who created the quartet convention. They came and sang. And
Mhm.
as special guests, legendary country music singer, lead singer for the Oak Ridge Boys, Dwayne Allen, came and sang. And he tells a story that night, which was totally off the cuff, unplanned. In 1962, he rode a Greyhound bus from Texas to go to the quartet show there at Ellis Auditorium, just hoping someday that he'd be in a quartet. So, like, everything returned back to that spot, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful night. If you could close your eyes and wonder what it was like to be Elvis Presley as a teenager going to the quartet convention in Memphis, which he did,
Mhm.
all that happened right there. Um, this is my mind's eye of what that would look like and sound like and feel like.
Absolutely. And that has to have, I hope that there's pieces of that that also translated into the live recording too, of just being in that place. I know that, it's not necessarily the sound of it, but just the history and the feeling there.
Sound, because the rhythm and blues that captured Elvis and the
Mhm.
quartets that he always had back him up, that was definitely what happened that night. And then to do our photo session, I don't know if you can see it, but we didn't grab anything from backstage. We grabbed it from Graceland. The curator
Mm.
of Graceland allowed us to come out and do our photo shoot there at those iconic gates, and then you can tell by the artwork, everything's it's got that black and white feel, and it's got that just that old school nostalgic feel. But the video is definitely updated, and so yeah, the audio, if you stream it, wonderful. And then also the video will be coming out soon too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm curious how you go about picking tracks for an album like that with the live recording and kind of the sounds that you want certain tracks to pull in and how that all comes together as you're working through that.
Well, for this album, there wasn't a variation of styles. It was just a four-piece band, no overproduction, no orchestration, just very raw, the way it would have been back in those days. So it was very true to the core of the style of music that we're trying to bring to the forefront once again, which is that old school Southern spirituals, done with that. I hate to say just Memphis because there's so many other different variations of where people believe the birth of this music came. But to not get hung up in the weeds on that, it definitely was mainstreamed when you heard the Jordanaires and groups like that backing up Elvis singing. Uh, Lord, I'm gonna walk that Milky Way, child, one of these days. It's just all those Southern spirituals, but we did it with signature sound flair. So, um, I, I'm thrilled. I'll be 60 this year. I've made a lot of records through the years, and every one of them I've been very, very proud of.
Mhm.
This one's special to me. I've been waiting my whole life to make this record.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you want to talk a little bit how this project's kind of conception first came to be? When you were, first thinking about what the next project would be after you had released your last one?
Yes. So as we were invited to sing at the Memphis Quartet Show, and so when they called, this was a year ago, I said, I'd like to say yes, but I'd like you to trust me with a program that's just tailor made for this event. So that's where it started with me. And then, vocally, I try to keep everything, primed and loosened up. And so every day when I warm up and vocalize, it's usually these old spirituals that I'm singing. And so I told the Stewart, which is on the board of directors there, I said, I want to do an old school quartet album, but I want to make it look um, updated. And
Mhm.
trust me with this, and give me the time to do it, and the tools to do it. And he did. Singing News TV came in and filmed it. It's going to be released on that platform first, and then we're going to release it, and then next year I think Gaither TV's picking it up, and they're going to run it on all the cable networks. And so it's just, I think it's something really, really special that will have a good shelf life.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm curious if you do anything different. I know this was probably a little bit different because it started with you're performing at the Memphis Quartet um, show, but I'm curious when you're pairing that visual component with the audio, how you maybe go about differently thinking and preparing yourself, or if you kind of do it the same thing and it's just you're capturing the visual along with it.
Signature Sound, our group has always been a visual group. And
Hmm.
I'm not just talking about the aesthetics of what suit or how you fix your hair like that, but we've always been animated, and that
Hmm.
was something we started out trying to do. But some even people think it's choreographed. To a certain degree, it is. That's just who we are. And so this album, Live in Memphis, was just going to be an audio only kind of thing. But
Hmm.
as we started rehearsing and started going through the motions of it, we're like, this is too much energy to pass up on. And so I'm just so thankful that we captured it. And that crowd there that night, my word, they would just gave us so much energy. There's so many highlights in that night, and we're just I'm excited for people to see it. I honestly think, and then also our new bass vocalist, Christopher Taylor, hit
Hmm.
19 years old, Cuban American, beautiful soul, beautiful voice. This was his very first full concert with us, so no pressure really. And I think just because I've been saying all along, this is me looking back at something that I wished I could have seen when I was 16 in
Mhm.
1956, the Statesman, the Blackwoods, Elvis, and all that guy. But my dream is that it would bring in a whole new generation to this art form that we love. And then with Christopher coming into the equation at the last minute and being a part of it and doing such a stellar job, that is already happening. We're already seeing an influx of people coming to our concerts that we've never seen before, and a lot of them are very young.
Oh, for sure. That's awesome that you get to see that not only in the listeners but also in the actual group signature sound and those that are working together. That's awesome. Um, so with the release of the project, do you have any other plans in terms of other touring, other kind of ways that you're looking to promote and kind of spread the word of it?
Yeah, we tour all the time.
Right.
This time last year, we performed on the Dove Awards with Take Six.
Mhm.
So they were chatting backstage, and he says, "You guys are always touring. You're always on." And I said, we have seasons in the summer we take off, and first of the year we take some time off, but for the most part, we do about 75 concerts a year, which is a lot less than when I first started. We were doing 200. Like, we were never home. So, at this age, that's a good pace for me. So starting now, we're gonna be going now to the end of the year, uh, promoting the Live in Memphis show. And then mid-November, we'll kind of switch gears and go into our Jazzy Little Christmas tour. But
Mhm.
one thing's for certain, we're definitely going to include some of those songs on our Christmas tour. It's just too exciting to pass up. And so we're just excited to, just to be back busy again and to be in a live setting and to sing the music that we love so much. It's just I hate to say it this way, but I don't know how else to say it. It's just a shot in the arm. It just feels like we've had a boost of energy and I'm very, very excited. What was that?
Oh, I I don't know, but that was
I just learned I had a new toy there.
That's awesome. Well, I know we're wrapping up here on timing, but just wanted to give you the opportunity to share what you're expectant for and praying for those who'll come in contact with this project, who for those who'll come out and see you on the tour the rest of this year and just come in contact with your music.
Great, great question. Let's see if I can make this as succinct as possible. Um, I was at an event somewhere where they had a bookstore, and there was a lot of, and it was a Christian church. There was a lot of, 7 steps to joy and, you know, 30-day plan for peace. And um, I just want to share with people that we're not trusting a plan, we're trusting a person. And, my wife and I just got off a cruise, and we've been on many, many cruises. And she's hard to shop for. After all these years, 34 years this December, we'll be together. And she saw a little billfold that she wanted. And she's like, "Oh, that's just too much." I said, "Well, huh, let me buy you something. I haven't bought you something in years." And so we did. And I say that to say this. Uh, she doesn't love me because I bought that for her. And I didn't buy that for her so that she would love me. It just flows out of the relationship. So, yeah, there are some practical things that people can tell you that I would like to tell you about how to have peace and joy and all these things. But just remember, Jesus is the fountain of all blessings, and when we fall in love with Him every day, and the gospel really grabs our heart, that genuine love produces the fruit of love, joy, peace, patience. So don't pursue uh, fruits, pursue the source, and that's Jesus. And there's times when you just got to just turn everything off. You got to sit down, and maybe what will help you connect to Jesus is Live in Memphis. I don't know. I hope this is a resource to you, because ultimately that's what we want. We know if you are connected to the Savior, everything else falls in place. So I'm doing that to myself. Today's been a busy day, a lot of interviews, a lot of challenges, a lot of things came up that I didn't expect. Hey, that's life. I just had to take a walk, have a talk with my Lord, and reconnect with Him. And and I know that I'm not trusting His plan. He has a plan. I'm not trusting plans. I'm trusting the person. And it's good to know that He cares.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, Ernie, for taking the time to chat with us. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for actual release date of the project and everybody to get to see and listen to the whole thing.
Well, we're excited about it, and thank you for our opportunity to speak on your platform. And as always, you can go to erniehaase.com. We've got a bundle there where you can get the DVD, the CD for $50, and then you get a free tour shirt with that picture of us at that iconic Graceland Gates. So that's still offered on our website.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you taking the time.
God bless you. Thank you for the time.